Hello friends, this video on semiconductors part 15 is brought to you by examfear.com. No more fear from exam. Please make sure that you have watched all the videos till part 14 before going ahead with part 15. Now let us look at the third application, that is a photodiode. So first of all, let us see what is a photodiode. A photodiode is a device which detects optical signal. So now we'll see, how a photodiode behaves. Like Zener diode was nothing but a semiconductor diode. It was just that the same semiconductor diode was made to operate in the breakdown region. So when it operates in the breakdown region, it has certain different properties, right? So which were made use in case of a Zener diode. Now we will see photodiode and where does the photodiode operate. It is also a special purpose PN junction diode. It consists of a transparent window to allow light to fall on it. So this is my PN junction diode. It has got a window somewhere near the junction so that the light can fall on the diode. So what does it actually do? Photodiode, it detects optical signal. That means when light falls on it, it should be able to detect the presence of it, right? So now this photodiode also operates under reverse bias, right? So what happens exactly in case of a photodiode? When light falls on the photodiode, let us suppose light means it is nothing but photons are falling on the on this PN junction diode. So let us suppose if a photon with energy h nu, which is greater than the energy gap of the semiconductor, right? Because every semiconductor has got some energy gap. So if the photon with some energy h nu, which is greater than the energy gap, falls on it, then what will happen? Electron hole pairs will be generated, right? You remember that is what we studied, because here you have the valence band, here you have the energy gap, and here you have the conduction band, right? So when you supply sufficient energy that the electron can jump from valence band to conduction band, only then electron hole pairs will be generated. So let us, in this case, who is supplying the external energy? The light. So let us suppose if the light consists of photons with energy h nu, which is greater than the energy gap, then electron hole pairs will be generated, right? Now these electron hole pairs will be generated near the depletion region, because the window is constructed in such a way that here only the electron hole pairs will be generated. Now the depletion region has got an electric field of its own. This electric field is along this direction, right? So now under the effect of this electric field, what will happen? The electrons and holes which are generated, they will get drifted along the direction of the electric field. So what will happen? Electron will move towards, this is P, this is N. So if electric field is along this direction, an electron which is generated here will move opposite to the direction of electric field. So the electron will move towards N side. Similarly, the hole will move towards the P side, right? So electrons will keep moving towards this side and holes will keep moving towards this side. So what will happen? N region already has more electrons when compared to P. Now even extra more electrons are coming into N region. Therefore, the EMF increases. The EMF between the N side and the P side increases. So when we connect an external load, as you can see here, if we connect both these ends, because the EMF across both these ends increased. Now we connect an external load, so what happens? Photocurrent flows. Now this potential difference between the two ends is known as photovoltage. Why photovoltage? Because this potential energy arises because of the light which falls on this semiconductor. So from that light, this term photo has come, and this potential difference, that is called voltage. So it is called photovoltage. So as a result of this, photocurrent flows, right? So you understood the working of a photodiode. What happens when light falls on the photodiode? if the light has energy greater than the energy gap of the semiconductor, then electron hole pairs will be generated. These electron hole pairs are generated near the depletion region because the window is constructed somewhere near the depletion region. Now, this depletion region has an electric field of its own. Due to this electric field, the electron hole pairs which were generated, they will get drifted. So the electrons will move towards the N side and the holes will move towards the P side. As a result of this movement, the EMF between the two sides will increase. And then if we connect a load, if we connect the two sides through a load, we see that a photocurrent flows because of this EMF which was developed. Now let us look at the VI characteristics of a photodiode. In case of photodiode also we see it operates in the reverse bias region. So reverse bias means somewhere on this region, because this is my forward bias region. So we see that, what do we see? So what do we see from this graph? We see that here the current which we denote is nothing but photocurrent. So from here we can see that photocurrent increases with increase in intensity of light. You remember when we studied the lesson on photoelectric effect, I told that the current emitted always depends upon the intensity of incident radiation, right? So the same concept is true here. The current here also, if you see, it is dependent on the intensity. Here you see I4 is greater than I3. So that means as the intensity increases, the amount of saturation current also increases, or the amount of current also increases at each point. So photocurrent increases with increase in intensity. And what happens to the photocurrent with increase in reverse bias voltage? Photocurrent increases with increase in reverse bias voltage. So initially if you see, it increases with increase in reverse bias voltage and then attains a saturation value. So that means photocurrent increases with increase in intensity, that is one thing, and photocurrent also increases with increase in reverse bias voltage. So initially it increases with reverse bias voltage and then it attains a saturation value. So if you see, this constant value is known as the saturation value. Right? So this is how we plot the VI characteristics of a photodiode.
Thank you. Please visit examfear.com to watch free educational videos, try free online tests, get the best quality study materials, study from the best tutors and mentors, and much more. Thank you once again.